Hi everyone, we're starting our next section on from the MYP 5 text, which is exercise 10G. And today, rather than looking at the sine rule, we're going to be taking a look at the cosine rule. Now basically, the cosine rule is going to be used to solve problems that have triangles that have these specifics on them. You're either going to have two sides and an included angle, or you would be given three sides. Now, using what we know already, that angle A is opposite side A, angle B is opposite side B, and angle C is going to be opposite side C, what the rule basically says is, now if I were to try to find the length of side A, that would mean automatically that I would have to know the angle measure opposite that. So if I'm looking for side A, I must know what the angle is opposite that, so I must know angle A. If I were trying to isolate or to figure out what side B was, then I would have to know what the angle B would have to be. And if I was trying to look for side C, then that means I would have to know angle C. So if we can if you can just follow from the diagram, hopefully it'll be clear that what's being done is basically this. So if I'm looking for the length of side A, that means that I'm going to have the length of side A squared, which is what I'm looking for, is going to have to be equal to side B squared added on to side C squared minus 2 times the product, or 2 times C times B, times the cosine of the angle opposite side A, or the angle that was given. Alright, so basically it would be also like saying, if I'm looking for side B, then I would have to say that it's going to be A squared plus C squared minus 2 times A times C times the cosine of the angle B. Alright, and if I was looking for side C, then I would have to say it would be A squared plus B squared plus minus 2 times A times B times the cosine of the angle between A and B, and then I obviously would have to take the square root of the whole thing, because these are all A squared, B squared, and C squared. Now if we wanted, for example, instead of finding out what the length of a side is, if we wanted to figure out what the measure of an angle is, we could still do it from these formulas up here and just isolate for cos of A, or cos of B, or cos of C, and then do cos inverse of A, cos inverse of B, cos inverse of C. Or the alternative would be that we could use also a rearranged formula that's been given and is also given to you in the IB. These are all formulas that are given to you, which would just be rearranging the above formulas here, A squared, B squared, and C squared, so that we would isolate for cos of A, cos of B, and cos of C. Alright, so moving on, let's just start taking, let's start doing the first example, okay? So the first example tells us that we've got this triangle, so we've got triangle ABC, and we are looking for the length of BC. Okay, so I don't even need the letters, but we could leave them in there, okay? So I don't need the letters, but so I'm given angle A, I'm given the two sides opposite, so the two sides, so the two sides that are right near that, so that means that angle A is the included angle, and if angle A is the included angle, that means that I'm going to be looking for the side opposite that, which is A. So I'll say A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times the cosine of A. So the side that I'm looking for, squared, is going to equal one of the sides squared that's given plus the other side that's squared that's given minus 2 times the product of those two sides times the cosine of the angle that was given to us, which is the included angle between those two given sides. So it's 38. Now the hard part of this is really the part where you've got to place this all in your calculator. Now, my suggestion has always been, and will continue to be, to place all of these things in at the same time. So don't do 100, then plus 144, minus 2 times 10 times 12 times the cos of 38. Just do it all in one shot together. So I would do 10 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 10 times the sine times the cosine of 38, and then press close it and press enter. And now you need to take the square root of this, because remember that a squared is equal to all of this. So that I will say then, with my calculator, I will do second function, square root, second function, the answer that I had there from above, and I press enter. And I end up getting that my answer is 15.1. And I'm going to put that to 3 significant figures. But in this case, as the question says above, let's go back. It says to 2 decimal places, so it's going to be 15.11, because it was 15.107. So it was 15.107. We'll put it to 15.11. All right, let's just do one more question, and really that basically covers it for today, because these questions are all about finding the cosine, using the cosine rule to find the length of a side or the measure of an angle. So I'm going to take this next question that doesn't have a diagram, and it says find the smallest angle of a triangle with sides 11, 13, and 15. Okay, so because we're looking, we need to draw this out. So we're going to be looking for one side of the triangle is 11, another one is 13, and the other one is 15. Now, if I'm looking for the smallest angle of a triangle, I'll call it A, B, C. The smallest angle, recall, has to be opposite the shortest side. Since 11 is the shortest side, that means in my particular triangle, I'm going to be looking for angle C. So I'll do C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times the cosine of angle C. So C squared is going to be equal to the 11, because it's the one opposite the angle that I'm looking for. And that's going to be equal to 13 squared, or 15 squared. That'll equal 15 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 13 times 15 times the cosine of C. So what I do now is I'm going to simplify this as much as possible. I'll do 11 squared minus 15 squared minus 13 squared, and that'll be equal to negative 2 times 13 times 15 times the cosine of C. And now all I'll do is say 11 squared minus 15 squared minus 13 squared, all divided by, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 2 times 13 times 15. So it's negative 2 times 13 times 15 is going to equal the cosine of C. So that my last thing to do then is going to be now just to take out my calculator, and I'm going to do 11 squared minus 15 squared minus 13 squared. Press enter to get my final answer, and I'm going to divide that by, and I'm going to open up a parentheses and place in there negative 2 times 13 times 15. Make sure you place the brackets in there. And I'm getting 0.7 as my answer equals the cosine of C. Having done that, now I'm going to do the cosine inverse of 0.7 equals C. So again, using my calculator, I will do second function, cosine. Second function, my answer that was previous, which was 0.7. I press enter, and I get 45.6 degrees. So the answer is 45.6 degrees for angle C. Okay. All right, so I'm basically done. And your homework is posted on PowerSchool. I'm quite certain I have it at the end of here, which, yes, it is. It's right here. It says complete exercise 10G, all of it. So that's all the work that you're going to be doing for the break, exercise 10G. All right, see you next time.